If you guys have been following the channel for a while, some of you guys may have seen my storytime video of when I was living with a pimp in Koreatown. If you guys haven't seen that video, I will have it linked in the description below. But anyways, while living with this pimp, we were also living with two girls that worked for him. And I actually helped him get one of these girls, but that's a story time for another video. How I earned my keep around the place was basically running these Backpage ads. Before websites like Craigslist and Backpage started cracking down on what type of ads you can actually post, Backpage was like the wild, wild west for internet escorts. Long story short, it's a lot of texting and answering a lot of questions from these Johns, and a lot of the times, these conversations go nowhere. Oftentimes, these Johns flake, never show up, conversations go nowhere. You get the idea. And most of these girls don't want to deal with that type of shit. They just want to do the deed. So that's where I came in, posted the ads, answered the questions, set everything up in the back end. Sometimes these clients request out calls. Now, what an out call is basically when the client is requesting the girl come to him, to where he's at. And for obvious reasons, a lot of girls don't like doing these and they only do in calls, but these girls were down. The pimp that I lived with, and for this story, we're going to call him B. Oftentimes, he would have me follow these girls, take them to where they needed to go, and make sure they came back home safely. Now, mind you, at the time, I'm 5'10", 140 pounds, soaking wet. So, needless to say, I wasn't the biggest dude. But what I did have was a Glock. So, on one of these out calls, we ended up going to a motel off of 3rd and Alvarado. This is the picture of the motel, and at the time, it was called Deluxe Inn. But recently, they've gone through a name change, but anyway, that doesn't matter. So me and Kennedy, the working girl, we get to the motel, she meets the John, they talk for a second, and they proceed to go into their room. Now, obviously, I'm not going into that room with them, so I step out onto the street to smoke a cigarette real quick. Well, as I'm smoking my stogie, this bald-headed Mexican fool walks past me. And mind you, it's like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But anyway, he bangs on me and claims 18th Street. But man, we live in a small-ass world, because after he banged on me, I recognized him because I was actually locked up with this dude in county. I can't remember what they called him, but he had a bald head, super fucking pale, and like he was kind of skinny. And he had this creepy ass smile. I'm not gonna lie, dude looked unsettling. I have a really good memory when it comes to faces, but when it comes to names, I'm shit, just for your information. But anyway, he doesn't recognize me at first, and he pushes up on me kind of aggressive and asks me if I had some dope on me or some money. And I told him, nah, I don't have shit. But I wasn't lying, I didn't have shit besides my gun. And mind you, it's still daylight out, so my guard is a little down, and I know, shit can go down at any time. But I didn't feel the need to let this dude know that I was packing, because let's be honest, I wasn't about to pull it out and bust on him first. I'm no shooter, but it made me more comfortable in the situation. But I could tell this fool was tweaking hard, because he was like grinding his teeth and shit. And for the second time, he asked me kind of aggressively if I had any cash on me. And I just told him, nah, bro, like, I don't really got shit. I'm just telling you the truth. And after I told him for the second time, he kind of backed off a little bit. And then he proceeded to ask me for a cigarette. Me trying to de-escalate the situation, I gave him one. And it kind of made him, come off the edge a little bit. We're smoking this cigarette, and he kind of recognizes me. He kind of remembers me, but this fool was tweaking, so none of that shit mattered to him. He was just on a mission. We chopped it up for a second, and I basically explained to him that I was homeless, and I think he told me that he was in a similar situation. After the cigarette was done, he kept it pushing, went on his merry way, and that was that. After smoking the cigarette, I went back inside the motel to wait inside the hallway, because fuck that. I ain't trying to confront nobody else. Long story short, I didn't get robbed because I didn't have shit to take. But I guess the moral of the story is to always try to de-escalate the situation. Even if you have a firearm or some type of weapon, you should always try to avoid confrontation. I've seen too many dudes go look for an issue because they have a gun, and they put themselves in situations that they normally wouldn't just because they have a gun. And in my opinion, that shit is stupid. But if you enjoyed today's video, leave the video a like because it helps me with the algorithm. Leave something in the comment sections below. But until next time, I'll be seeing you guys later. Peace.